أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Can I please get a quick show of hands to make sure that the sound is okay and that the screen is visible to everyone? Okay, perfect. Jazakumullah. So as you know, today we are doing an internal assessment. It's not really anything to worry about too much. It's really just for us in G2, the teachers, to understand how well you're applying the rules in lessons 1 and lesson number 2 as well. So the 20 common errors in the Lavit and 10 cases of waqf. So it's very much similar to what we've been doing in our recitation practice. It's just a bit more, we'll try to give a bit more structured feedback during this session, and inshallah it will help you improve and it will help you see where you might need to work on, which areas you need to work on. So towards the end of the course, we are hopefully going to have an external examiner take an assessment that will be perhaps in week 12, in the final week of the course. So you can consider this as a bit of a mock test, just so we can look at how well you're doing internally. So we are going to be choosing hopefully equal students between Atfal and Nasarat, and we have got certain portions of the Holy Quran that we're going to be working from. So I would like to request the co-host if you can please provide me with the first student.
Yes, Assalamualaikum. The first student is A5124.
Okay, perfect. Jazakallah.
Assalamualaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam. A5124, yeah?
No.
What's your ID?
A5128.
Oh, sorry. Okay, A5128. That's fine. Okay, so what I would like you to do, so can you see the screen okay in front of you?
Yes.
Yep. Okay, brilliant. And the sound is okay as well?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So we are going to be starting off this assessment with Surah Al-Mulk, and that is chapter 67 of the Holy Quran. So what I would like you to do is to recite from verse number 1, starting with Bismillah, A'udhu Billahi Bismillah, and if you can recite up until verse number 4, please.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Tabarakallazi bi yadihil mulk wa huwa ala kulli shay'in qadir Nilazi khalaqal mauta wal haya Taliyabluwakum ayyukum ahsanu amala wa huwal azizul ghafurur Allazi khalaqas kasab asamawatin ka baka matara ras fi khalqi rahmani min tafarut Wut Farji il Basar Hal Tara min Futur.
Okay, Jazakallah. I have to say, overall, I'm very impressed. I think that was a good recitation. You had good fluency. There are a few points that I just wanted to raise to pay close attention to. I think generally you've got a very good idea of the timings, but I've noticed when you're reciting, sometimes you stretch the sounds of the strokes, I think unintentionally. And I think that's part of you just when you're joining the words and trying to become more fluent. But inshallah, one thing I want you to really improve one is. So you can see over here, the first one that I highlighted, this was on the stroke of kasra in ba. And it wasn't, I think what it is when you're reciting, you're stretching it a little bit. I think you know how much time you have to give it, but just because you're practicing becoming more fluent in your recitation, sometimes it becomes stretched a little bit too much. So a good way for you to practice is to select just maybe part of a verse and then just practice keeping it to the right amount of time. So this was a little bit too long. So this was, you read it as biyadihi. So all of the strokes, they were a little bit longer than 1 second. So during your recitation to practice, take a single word and then just practice reading for that 1 second. So over here, biyadihi. Take another word or a few words, wahuwa ala. And then again in the next verse, khalaqa. And then what I would say is practice first doing the individual word and then build up your words. So I think you have a good understanding of how much time you need to give, but just to make it more fluent, just practice those timings, okay?
Yes. Okay.
Apart from that, just read this one word over here for me, please.
Tibak.
If you're going to pause, I think you read it right the first time, but the reason I highlighted was because... Yeah, exactly. So 2 seconds. The reason I highlighted it in the beginning is because this is one word altogether. So I think when you were working out how to pause, you stopped your breath after the ta. So just remember, if you do break your breath and you have to have time to think, when you're reading it, just go back to at least that word, okay? So if you said ti and then you were thinking baqa, the better way to do is to read the whole word again, okay? It doesn't matter if you make any mistakes. If you correct yourself, it's better to go back to read the full word, okay?
Yeah.
And this one over here, so just when you're joining with the ra mushaddad, just put more stress on it. So khalqir rahmani, khalqir rahmani. So just put a little bit more time when you're joining these two. It was okay, but because it's shadda, we just want to have more stress on there. And this point over here, just read this word again and pause at this small ta.
Tafawut.
Okay, so the reason I highlighted it was because remember this stroke, what's this stroke on the waw?
Dhamma.
Dhamma, very good. So when you're pausing, it's going to be tafawut, okay? We're not going to make this into a 2 second. We're not going to make it tafawut. That would make it as if there was another waw madda after that waw. So it's going to be tafawut, okay? Not stretching that waw sound, tafawut. Can you just read that word for me?
Tafawut.
Very good, excellent. And just over here, so if you're going to stop on this word, al-basara, how would you read it?
Al-basar.
Excellent, very good. And if you're going to stop at the end of this verse, how would you read that?
Futur.
Futur, excellent, very good. Jazakallah, so that was well done. Just pay attention to those points and definitely practice the timings. I know you know what they are, but I think it comes out in recitation as longer than what you mean it to be. So inshallah, I think with lots of practice you will correct those, but there's no major mistakes as such. It's just paying attention to those timings, okay? Okay, Jazakumullah, thank you very much. So that we're off to a good start. Let's see, can I have another student this time from Nasirat, please, co-host?
Yeah. N6134.
Okay, perfect. Assalamu alaikum, N6134.
Can't see her in the list anymore.
I think she's disappeared, yeah. You can choose a different student if you'd like.
Yeah, N6119.
Okay. N6119, assalamu alaikum. Wa alaikum assalam. Are you ready to have your mini test, mock test?
Yes.
Yep, okay, brilliant. So if you could start over here, you can start with just A'udhu Billahi is enough. If you can read up to verse number 6, please, the end of verse number 6.
Okay. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ثم ارجع البصر كرتين ينقلب إليك البصر خاسئا وهو حسير ولقد زينا السماء الدنيا بمصابيح وجعلناها رجوما للشياطين وأعتدنا لهم عذاب السعير.
Excellent, Jazakallah. That was really well read. Very, very good fluent recitation. And I can see that you were you're taking your time, so you read very thoughtfully. So well done. Just over here, the only point that I highlighted was, I think there was a bit of a break between these two, as-sama'a and ad-dunya. So just read from here again, these two words.
Okay. Sama dunya.
Almost there. Just remember that we've still got the alif over here, so it's going to be as-sama ad-dunya, okay? But otherwise, really well done. That was really, really good recitation, and that's a very good application of rules 1 and 2, so I'm really impressed. Well done. I'm going to give you some words at random, and I'd like you to perform waqf on them. So if we start with this word over here.
Yamshi.
Very good. And can you tell me if there's any change when you're pausing on that word?
No, there
Okay.
isn't.
Very good. This word over here.
Mata.
Okay. And again, is there any change in when you're performing waqf?
No.
Okay, brilliant. This word over here.
Zulfah.
Excellent. Very good. And let's do one more.
Dalal.
Read it one more time.
Dalal.
Yeah, very good. Perfect. Jazakallah. So that was very well done. MashaAllah. Really, really good understanding of all the lessons we've covered so far. So well done. Jazakallah. So can I have another student from Atfal now, please?
Yeah. A5117.
Okay, perfect.
Hello, assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam. Are you ready for your test today, A5117?
Yep.
Okay, excellent. So I would like you to start from verse number 7, please. And if you can read up until verse number 9.
Okay. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وللذين كفروا بربهم عذاب جهنم وبئس المصير إذا ألقوا فيها سئموا لها سئيقا وهي تفور تكاد تميز من العزيز كلما
Sorry, one sec. Yep, carry on.
كلما أملكي فيها فوج سيل لهم خزنتها ألم يأتكم نذير.
Okay, Jazakallah. So I've highlighted a few points that we really need to work on. So the biggest things that I want you to work on is paying attention to the actual strokes. So in some cases, sorry, let me go back. In some of the cases, I think you actually misread the stroke. So I think, let's have a look. I think the cut there, I think you read it as a different stroke. It might have been a kasra. So just be very, very mindful of the strokes that you're reading. And I want you to just, if you can read again from fiha up until laha, just these three words.
Yeah. Fiha sami'u laha.
Okay, that was perfect. So that was correct that time. And if you can read this word again for me.
Shahiqan.
Okay, good. And can you read from shahiqan up until the end of this verse?
Shahiqan qawwahiya tafur.
Okay, so just over here, in some places, so over here on the dal and I think maybe on the meme as well, the strokes, they're a little bit too long. So for fatha stroke or dhamma or kasra, just those short vowel strokes, it's just the 1 second. So I think you understand how much time you should give it, but when it comes out in recitation, when you're thinking about how to join connect the words together, sometimes it gets a bit too long. So those are the main 2 points. First of all is to make sure that the strokes that you're reading, to read them as they are, and also to make sure that you're not prolonging too long on the short vowel strokes, so the fatha, dhamma and kasra. Okay. I think so. Can you read from kullama up until the end of the verse again? So
Okay.
just
Kullama ulqiya fiha fawjan si'alahum khazanatuha alam ya'tikum nazir.
So that was a lot better the second time. Just read this word again for me, because this one you made the same mistake the second time. So read this word.
Salalahum.
Try one more time. So remember, this is joined to alif, and then this is lam over here.
Salalahum.
So sin with alif, sa'a, and then lahum. So how are you going to join those two together?
Sa'alahum.
Yeah, very good. So got there eventually. So again, it's about making sure that these strokes, they are pronounced correctly. Because remember, one of the very first few lessons that we did was on why it's important to make sure, first of all, that we prolong the right amount of time, because it can have an impact on the meaning, and also to make sure that we don't misread what's written there, because that can change the meaning again. Okay, so those 2 points work on, but otherwise it's quite good fluent recitation, and I can tell that you've got a good grasp on the rules that we've done so far. Just be a bit more, think more about the words that you're doing, especially with the tougher words, or you've got multiple rules. Sometimes it can become quite easy to trip up on those. So just think about that when you're doing your recitation. But overall, I'm quite happy. So Jazakallah, thank you very much. Jazakallah. And if I can have another student from Nasirat, please, co-host.
Yes, N6103.
Okay. Assalamu alaikum, N6103.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam. Could you please read from actually, if we okay, so let's start from verse number 10 then. So from qalu, starting with A'udhu Billah.
A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Qalu bala qad ja'ana nazir فكذبنا وقلنا ما نزل الله من شيء إن أنتم إلا في ضلال كبير وقالوا لو كنا نسمع أو نعقل ما كنا كنا في أصحاب السعير ف ف فاعترفوا بذنبهم ف- فسحقا ل- فسحقا لأصحاب السعير.
Jazakallah, thank you very much. So that was well read again, very good and very fluent. Just a few points that I highlighted. So just read this word again for me.
فاعترفوا.
Okay, that's fine. And so I think we covered this lesson. We are going to come to it in more detail, but we have covered this. So when you have the small meme above the noon sakin and it's followed by ba, can you remember what you have to do?
We need to ignore the noon. We need to say meme.
Yep. And what else do we have to remember to do?
We need to hold it.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So you replaced it with a meme, which is correct, but just put a bit more time on it. So be them, be him. Okay. Apart from that, again, you corrected yourself over here. So remember, when we have that tanveen and it's joining with that lam mushaddad, we're not going to hear the sound of the tanveen at all. So it's going to be completely merged into the lam. So just read this word again for me, these two words.
فسحقا ل-
And the next word as well.
فسحقا لأصحاب.
Yeah, very good. That's perfect. So otherwise, apart from those minor points, there wasn't really anything that I could see that was obvious as a mistake. So mashallah, that's very good. I'm quite happy with the level that you're reciting at. In the next few lessons, we are going to be coming to lesson number 3, which is going to be on the Arabic letters. So I think definitely that lesson will inshallah help you as well. But otherwise, if we're judging it according to lesson 1 and 2, then mashallah, very good. So I'm quite happy with your recitation. Okay, so jazakallah.
Jazakallah.
Jazakallah. Before we go to the next student, I just want to chat to 2 students very quickly. Okay. Assalamualaikum. A5107.
Assalamualaikum.
Walaikum assalam. Can you just check on your screen? Are you pressing any button, because it keeps on coming up with the remote control? So is there any button that you're pressing at the moment, because it pops up constantly during the class?
No, my mom
No?
is saying next to me and she can't. I'm not clicking
No, he's
anything.
not touched anything.
Nothing.
No.
Okay, because it keeps on popping up. So
Laptop is on the table and he doesn't touch anything.
doesn't touch it. Okay. Okay, that's fine. Not to worry. Jazakallah. That's fine. Okay, and I wanted to check with Assalamualaikum. N6136.
Assalamualaikum.
Assalamualaikum. I just wanted to ask the same thing to you. Are you pressing any button at all on your screen? Because
No.
I keep getting the same thing, and it makes it difficult to follow the recitation. But you're definitely not pressing anything.
No.
No. Okay, that's fine. No worries. Jazakallah. Okay, not to worry. We'll see if we can look into this, because it's been going on for a really long time, and I know that all of the students that I've asked, they're sure that they're not pressing anything, so it may be a technical issue that we have to escalate. So we'll look into that, but not to worry. What we'll do is, co-host, if we can go back to those same 2 students, so if we have A5107 and then N6136.
Sure. A5107 is on the mic.
Okay.
Assalamualaikum.
Walaikum assalam. Could you please read from inna up until let's have until verse number 16, please.
Okay. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Idallazina yaj. No, it was yah sauda rabbahum bil ar khaybi la hubba bira hubba ajrad kabir bir wa sirru kau lakum wij ha bih indahu hu li bi zati sudur al ya lahu madjari khala ba hu wallati ul khabir huwa wallazi ja'a lakul bul arza lad fab shur fi ma kibi ha wa ulu il mid birri ka ki wa ilai hidusur shur.
Yeah, okay, brilliant. Okay, Jazakallah. So that was a really, really good effort. How old are you, can I ask?
11.
Okay, 11, that's fine. So the points that I highlighted, it's more, so the main ones that I did were regarding the length of the strokes. So over here, you can see which stroke is above the lam over here.
Fatha.
Fatha. And how many seconds do we give to a fatha?
1 second.
Excellent. So for this word over here, how are you going to read these 3 letters?
Kha, la, ka.
Yep, very good. Excellent. And over here, can you read this word for me?
Khabir.
Yep, al-khabiru. Okay, excellent. And let's take another word. How about this one over here?
Ki, har, ha.
Yep, very good. Excellent. So I can tell that you understand how much time to give them, but just when you're joining the words, sometimes it can you give a little bit too much time. So again, it's similar to the points that I've raised with the previous students. It's just when you're joining words together, or even if you're not joining them, just be mindful of how much time you give them, okay? It's not a major thing. It's come up a few times, but just keep working on it. I know that you're trying really hard to get all of the words connected and to read it all together, so that's really good. That's really positive. But just remember with your timings, for a few words, they were a little bit too long, okay? also over here, so can you just read this word, these two words?
Okay.
So just read them together.
Okay. Hub. Where from? Oh, here.
From here, yeah.
Okay.
Let me just make it a bit bigger. There we go.
Ma'pir. Ma'pir. Ma'pira. Huva. Huh? Hud. Can I start again?
Yeah, sure.
Ma'pira. Tava. Aj. Vada. Tuva. Ajr.
What's this stroke over here? Can you tell me what it is?
Is it a dappa?
It's not quite a dhamma, so it's actually a tanween of dhamma. So a dhamma.
Tadbi dappa.
Yeah, brilliant. So when you're reading it, what sound does it make when it's on the ra? So if it was, yep, exactly.
Run.
So read this word just from here, from alif.
Ajrun.
Excellent, very good. And over here, so this the one that I've highlighted is because you're reading it as a ha. So this is a ta marbuta. You can see the two dots. Maybe it's not so clear because they're a little bit joined together. But this is ta marbuta. So it's going to be maghfiratun. Okay, not a ha, but maghfiratun. And the reason I highlighted these two is when you're joining the maghfiratun with wa over here, this has got a shadda on it. So when you have a waw mushaddad, when you join this tanween sound, the dammatain, with this waw mushaddad, the sound that you get is maghfiratun wa. Okay, so you have to
I was
pause.
gonna do that, but the thing is, I got a nose block.
Oh, I see. It's okay, not to worry. But just remember, when you are reading it, make it a bit of a nasal sound, but also pause a little bit because it's the shadda on the waw. So, maghfiratun wa. Okay?
Okay.
Okay, good. Just read this word again for me as well.
Okay. Bill. No, I pause. Bill. Or.
Yep, yep.
Ghaibi.
Excellent, very good. So I think before you were confusing it with an ayn, but that's a ghain, so bil ghaibi, very good. And read this again for me.
Okay. Alaya.
Yeah, very good. Allah ya'lamu, excellent. And this one you were struggling with a little bit because what you saw was you've got the noon sakin in the middle, but then you remembered that you're not going to read that noon. You're joining this meme with this ra mushaddad. So how would you read this word? So no noon. Remember that. Just imagine the noon isn't there. We're joining this meme with a kasra to this ra mushaddad with a kasra.
Birizkihi.
Excellent, very good. So mir rizqihi, very good. So I'm going to give you let's have a look. Okay, so this word over here, yakhsifa. If you were going to pause on that word, how would you read that? How do you
Yajsi. Huh? Oh. Kha.
Yeah, good. So how would you read that?
Khasi. Khasif.
Not khas. Remember, it's starting with a ya. So you
Okay.
corrected yourself there, but you're joining the yeah.
Yakhsi.
Yeah. Excellent, very good. If you're going to pause on this word here, how would you stop from on fakaifa?
Okay. Fakaif.
Yeah, very good. Excellent. And what about on shay'in?
Shay'i.
Yeah, so just make the sound a bit more blended together. Shay.
Shay.
Yeah, Very good. Okay, Jazakallah. So the main thing that you need to work on is first of all, with the strokes to make sure it's the right amount of time. And also where you come to the more trickier rules where you have to think about multiple things at one time, just be a bit more mindful of them, okay? But otherwise it was good. I can see you're trying really hard to make sure that you're connecting all the words together. So just keep up that effort, okay?
Okay.
Okay, Jazakallah. Thank you very much.
Jazakallah.
Jazakallah. Another student from Nasirat, please. If I could have
Yeah.
the same one that I picked, I think it was N6
Is-
136, wasn't it?
136, yeah?
Yeah, please. Okay. Assalamu alaikum, N6 136.
Yeah, beautifully done.
Oh, okay. Co-host, if you could just mute A517, yeah. Okay. Okay, N6 136. This time I'm going to get you to start on a different surah. So we're going to go to Surah Al-Ma'arij, which is chapter 70. So starting from verse number 1, please. If you could read up to verse number 5.
Okay. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم سأل سائل بعذاب واقع للكافرين ليس له دافع من الله ذي المعارج تعرج الملائكة والروح إليه في يوم كان مقداره خمسين ألف سنة.
Okay, Jazakillah. That was a really good effort. Well read. There are just two main points that I wanted to point out. So over here, this alif, it's actually acting as an alif madda. So when you're reading this full phrase, بِعَذَابٍ وَاقِعٍ, so you're actually going to prolong it for 2 seconds, okay? So
Okay.
it's part of this word, waqi', okay? And the same thing over here. So if you read this all together, remembering this is alif madda in the middle, how would you read that?
دافئ.
Excellent, very good. And just read this word again for me, please.
Okay. الملائكة.
Yeah, so if you're
I did
pausing,
work
yeah.
there.
Yeah, perfect, that's fine. And over here, I think your breath just broke. It's not wrong as such because we're not focusing on actual performing waqf in the verses because we've not really come to that. But just to make you aware, say if you were doing it in an ishtama or something, a judge would pick up on that because you've stopped. It's a bit random in that verse, but I can understand that's not a major point as such, because there wasn't an error in your actual recitation. But I'm just making you aware, because your recitation is overall, mashallah, very good. The next step for you would be to start thinking about where it's good to pause for a breath. Okay, so if I give you some random words again to perform waqf on, so if I can give you this one over here.
Okay. جميع ثم.
Let me just, sorry, that's just this one word over here.
Oh, okay. جميع.
Yeah, so just make sure that this ya in the middle, this ya madda, and when you're pausing, this becomes a. So just give it equal time. Jami'a. Okay?
Okay.
Read it one more time, please.
جميع.
Okay, very good. How about here?
نزع.
Remember again, so this is
Oh,
alif
yeah,
madda.
sorry.
Read one more time.
نزع.
Very good. How about on here? So
Okay.
starting with Sad.
Okay. Salatihim.
Excellent. And on
Jannat.
excellent. Okay, very good. Jazakillah. So as well read. Just a few points to pay attention to was the prolonging. Just recognizing that over there it's not acting as a blank alif. It's actually alif madda in that situation. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Jazakillah. Very well read. Could I get one more student, please, from Atfal?
Yes. A1132.
Okay. Assalamualaikum A1132.
Assalamualaikum.
Walaikum assalam. Could you please read from verse number 6, please? So just starting from here.
Okay. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم فاصبر صبرا جميلا.
If you're pausing there, how are you going to read that?
جميلا.
Yeah, brilliant.
Till where?
If you read it up until verse number 12.
All right. إنهم يرونه بعيدا ونراه قريبا يوم تكون السماء كالمهل وتكون الجبال كالإهن ولا يسأل هميم هميما يبصرونهم يود المجرم لو يفتدي من عذاب يومئذ بمانيه.
Okay, Jazakallah. So again, that was really well read. There are a couple of points, but they weren't major as such, but just things to work on. So just read this first word for me, please, one more time.
فاصبر.
Yeah, excellent. So I think you prolonged when it was supposed to be just joining the fa. Yeah. So fasbir. Okay, very good. Over here you corrected yourself when you were pausing. Just do the same on limohli.
كالمهل.
So are you going, when you're pausing, you're applying the sukoon on the lam. So how do you think you're going to read that? So the way that you're reading at the moment, the kasra is still coming through. So there needs to be a difference because it's just taking the sukoon at the end of that verse. So how do you think you might read it?
Or mul.
Yeah, so you want the lam there just slightly. Kal muhl. Okay? Just it's a bit difficult to do. It's I think it's case number 10 where you have two letters that will have the sukoon next to each other. So just work on it. And again over here, kal'ihn. You're slightly pronouncing the noon sakin and slightly pronouncing the lam sakin at the end when you're pausing. Okay. Otherwise there wasn't really any other point that I think I highlighted. So generally very good recitation, well done. But just pay attention to those little points. If I can get you to do waqf on this word over here, please.
Halu.
Very good. And if we just go to Surah Nur, this word over here.
Musamma.
Just read one more time.
Musamma.
Very good, excellent. So That's taking a 2-second prolongation, and you corrected yourself because you've got the meme mushaddad. How about on here?
Firara.
Excellent, very good. Jazakallah. So well done. Good recitation. A few minor points, but overall, I'm very happy with the way that you've understood lessons 1 and 2. So mashallah, very good. Well done. Jazakallah.
Zakillah.
And if I could get one fine, I think we'll have time for one more student from Nasirat. Please, co-host.
Yes. N6108.
Okay. Assalamualaikum.
Assalamualaikum.
Walaikum assalam. Could you read from here up until verse 20, please?
Okay. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وصاحبته وأخيه وفصيلته التي تؤويه ومن في الأرض خميئا ثم ينجيه كلا إنها لظى نزاعة للشوى تدعو أن أدبر وتولى وجمع فأوعى إن الإنسان خلق هلوعا.
Jazakillah. So that, again, that was a very good recitation. That is very thoughtfully read, and you took your time, so that's very good. Again, a few points that I've highlighted. So just read this word again for me. I think you may have read it as a kha by accident.
Jami'a.
Yep. So if you're pausing, yes, jami'an, jami'a, and if you're just reading it as it is, jami'an. Okay, that was fine. And let me just go. Now, could you just read this line again for me?
تدعو من أدبر وتولى.
Okay, excellent. I think I may have just misheard you because the sound was a bit unclear, but that's fine. And if you can read this final verse one more time for me.
إن الإنسان خلق هلوعا.
Okay, excellent. So there are no mistakes there. So very good. All of the times that I've made you repeat, you've corrected any of your mistakes. There was nothing major there, but just be mindful of like when you have the jim and mistaking it with the kha, that can sometimes come up. Can I get you to perform waqf on this word over here?
والمحروم.
Excellent. And if you can do it on this word over here.
ملك.
Try again for me. So it's,
ملك.
yeah. So is there going to be any change when you're pausing there?
No.
Okay, brilliant. How about on this word here?
يدخل.
Excellent. And if you were to pause on here?
Jannat.
Try again. So remember, it's ta marbuta at the end.
Jannah.
Excellent. Very good. Jazakillah. Very well read. Very carefully read. So you've really tried to pay attention to the rules that we've covered. So mashallah, very well done. Again, as I mentioned to one of the other students, your recitation is good at the moment. And inshallah, when we come to the next lesson, which is going to be on the Arabic letters, I think you can go even further with it and make even better improvements to your recitation. So Jazakillah. That was really well read. I'm quite happy with that. Thank you very much. I think we can maybe squeeze in maybe one more student co-host from Iqbal's.
Excuse me, my
Yeah?
brother's and he hasn't had a turn yet.
Okay, what's your brother's name? Sorry, ID?
11. A5111.
Okay, A5111. Okay, yeah, that's fine. We can have him. Assalamualaikum, A5111.
Assalamualaikum.
Walaikum assalam. Could you please carry on from verse number 21 then? Starting with A'udhu Billah and Bismillah.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إذا مسه الشر جزوعا وإذا مسه الخير منوعا إلى المصلين الذين هم على صلاتهم دائمون والذين في أموالهم حق معلوم للسائل والمحروم والذين يصدقون بيوم الدين.
Okay, Jazakallah. So again, very carefully and slowly read, so that's a good thing. The main point that I've highlighted, which has come up quite a few times, so this is regarding how you're reading the letters which carry the shadda, yeah? So they just need a lot more stress on them because the way that you're reading them at the moment, it's as if it's just the fatha or the dhamma or kasra stroke on its own. So the first one that I've highlighted, how would you read this word over here?
Massahu.
Excellent, very good. And here you're joining the two words, which this also starts with the shadda on the sheen. So how are you going to read both of these together?
Massahu sharu.
Yeah, very good. And remember again, the ra has a shadda, so massahu sharru. So all three of these, ra, sheen, and seen, all of them, they're going to have lots of stress on them. And over here again, if you can read from, just read this verse again, please.
وَإِذَا مَسَّهُ الْخَيْرُ مَنُوعًا.
Very good. And read the next verse again.
إِلَّا الْمُصَلِّينَ.
Very good. So no mistakes there. Okay, over here, so joining these two words together, haqqun and ma'loom. So those two, when you're joining them, you have to consider you've got the dammatain joining with this mim mushaddad. So how are you joining these two together?
حَقٌّ مَعْلُومٌ.
Excellent, very good. A little bit more stress because both of these have got a shadda. Haqqum ma'loom.
حَقٌّ مَعْلُومٌ.
More stress on the qaf as well. Haqqum ma'loom.
حَقٌّ مَعْلُومٌ.
Very good. And there was one other main point that I wanted to highlight. So I think it was over here. Just read this word, these two words. So the first two that you can see up until where my cursor is.
وإذا
Excellent, very good. So remembering that is a alif madda there. And just read this word again.
أموالهم.
Excellent, very good. So the mistake that you made the first time round, I don't think that you prolonged it for 2 seconds. So remember that's an alif madda after the waw, so it's 2 seconds there. And the final thing over here is because on the lam you misread the stroke. So just read this verse once more.
للسائل والمحروم.
Excellent, very good. So all of the previous points that are highlighted, when you recited it the second time round, they weren't there. So you corrected yourself, which is good. But it's just paying attention, first of all, with those letters which carry the shadda, because the second time that you read it round, you read it very well with lots of stress. So your shadda letters, and also just be mindful of where you have the prolonging, and also where you have making sure that the strokes aren't read incorrectly, okay? But otherwise it was good recitation. You took your time and you thought about it. Just consider, put most of your attention on the shadda letters, okay?
Yes.
Okay,
Jazakallah.
Jazakallah. Jazakallah. Thank you very much to all the students that have recited today. If you haven't had a chance today, we are going to be doing another examination. We may do another internal assessment at some point in the next few weeks, but otherwise we have got another exam scheduled for the end of the course. So if you didn't get a chance today, inshallah you may get a chance in the future. So co-host, if I can have one final student that can read the last prayer, and then we can conclude the class.
Yes. N6105.
Yep. Assalamu alaikum. N6105.
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam. Could you please read the 2 lines of the concluding prayer?
Yeah. Allahumma arhamni bil Qur'anil Waqtim waj'al tuli imamaw wa nuraw wa hudaw wa rahmah.
Okay, Jazakallah. Just read this this part again, please.
Waj'al tu.
So not tu. Tu would be if there were the 2 dots on there. So this is just going to be hu, okay? So
Okay.
waj'alhu, okay?
Yeah.
Okay, Jazakallah. And the translation, please?
O Allah, have mercy on me through the great Quran, and make it for me the leader, the light, the guidance, and the mercy.
Jazakallah, thank you very much. So just general feedback to the whole group. I'm very impressed with the level that a lot of you are reciting at. All of you are at different points. So some of you have come to the point where you've really mastered lessons 1 and 2 and you're ready to move on and adapt the rules that we're going to be learning in lesson number 3 on the Arabic letters. So if you're at that stage, then very well done. If you're not, don't be disheartened at all. This is a continuous learning process. So whatever feedback that you've been given in your recitation today, please take it on board and try to apply it in your daily recitation. As I said, there's no student that I'm disappointed with at all. I'm very impressed with the levels that you're reciting at generally. But please do remember that with these Quran classes, these act as an additional support to what you should be doing on a daily basis anyway. So please don't think that it's sufficient to just attend the classes and your job is done. It's really important that you just see these classes as an additional way of understanding and learning the Holy Quran. So with that, very well done for the first assessment. This is the first time we've ever done an assessment in G2 in both of the courses we've run. So I'm really very impressed with all of you that have recited, and inshallah in the future assessments that we do, I hope to listen to more of you. So Jazakumullah, thank you very much, and inshallah see you in tomorrow's lesson. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.